Drake reflects on loyalty and betrayal in his first post-feud single, What Did I Miss? Aubrey Drake Graham, known simply as Drake, has long stood as a defining voice in modern hip-hop. From his early days on Degrassi to becoming a record-breaking rapper, singer, and cultural icon, Drake has consistently balanced vulnerability with bravado. His career spans more than a decade of chart-topping hits, sold-out tours, and highly publicized feuds, the most recent of which was his headline-grabbing lyrical war with Kendrick Lamar. Now, months after the dust has settled, Drake has returned with a track that doesn't just address the aftermath of that feud, it speaks directly to the pain of personal betrayal. On July 4, 2025, Drake unveiled his latest single, What Did I Miss?, during his Iceman Episode 1 livestream. The track marks his first solo release since February's collaborative album with Party Next Door and signals a sharp tonal shift. Rather than celebrate chart success or romantic escapades, this single carries an introspective weight, one that reveals just how deeply the fallout from the Lamar feud has affected the Canadian artist. Calling out the silent ones. While Drake's feud with Kendrick Lamar dominated headlines in 2024, culminating in multiple diss tracks and Kendrick's now iconic The Pop-Out concert where he performed Not Like Us 5 times in a row, What Did I Miss? Turns its gaze inward. It's not just about Lamar anymore. Instead, Drake addresses the friends and collaborators who failed to stand by him when it mattered most. The song's opening lines are blunt, setting a defiant tone. I don't give if you love me, I don't give if you like me. What follows is a clear expression of disbelief and disappointment toward those who remained silent, or worse, took the opposing side during his public battle. He raps about feeling blindsided by people he once trusted, emphasizing the sting of betrayal. Last time I looked to my right, you was standing beside me / how can some people I love hang around who try me? The lyrics leave little doubt that Drake's wounds run deeper than just a lyrical exchange. Revisiting familiar loyalty themes, Drake has always had a complicated relationship with fame and trust. From early albums like Take Care to more recent efforts like Certified Lover Boy, he's often used his music as a confessional booth, reflecting on relationships that soured under pressure. What Did I Miss? Continues this pattern but takes it further, zeroing in on specific moments and people connected to the pop-out. In the second verse, Drake alludes to a friend attending Lamar's concert, rapping, I saw bro win a pop-out with them, but been riding gang since headlines. It's a subtle but cutting reference to long-standing loyalty, or the lack thereof, as he contrasts their past support with present betrayal. He doesn't stop there. It feels like nobody's there until you start giving out two-tones, and nobody cares until they in front of your tombstone, he continues, highlighting how loyalty often fades until it's too late. This isn't just a diss, it's a reflection on how success and grief reveal who's truly in your corner. A symbolic visual to match the mood. The release of What Did I Miss? Wasn't just an audio drop. Drake paired the single with a stark visual. In the video, he's seen posing beside a collection of weapons by a pool and later dancing alone in a warehouse made of ice. The icy warehouse may be metaphorical, coldness, isolation, and solitude, perhaps a visual echo of how he now feels about the people who once stood with him. The visual imagery amplifies the track's themes of alienation and toughness, a stark contrast to the romantic aesthetics of earlier this year. The legacy of a hip-hop war. Drake's lyrical feud with Kendrick Lamar is one of the most talked-about battles in hip-hop history. It involved not only a direct exchange of diss tracks, but also participation from other prominent figures such as Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, and Future, all of whom appeared to side with Lamar. Kendrick's Not Like Us became a cultural moment, winning a Grammy and dominating the airwaves. Meanwhile, Lamar's The Pop-Out concert in June 2024, which hosted several of Drake's former collaborators, seemed like a final stamp on the feud's outcome, at least from the public's perspective. Yet, What Did I Miss? Reminds fans that while Lamar may have walked away with critical acclaim, the emotional consequences for Drake were far more personal. His words now suggest a man who's less concerned with winning the feud and more preoccupied with understanding who he can trust in its wake. Legal and commercial aftermath. The feud didn't end with music. In the months following the battle, Drake filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, accusing the label of intentionally promoting Not Like Us in a way that defamed him. UMG denied any wrongdoing, but the tension surrounding the legal proceedings only heightened the public interest in the story. In spite of the controversy, Drake continued to find commercial success. His February album with Party Next Door debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, while the lead single Nokia peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that his fanbase remains strong despite industry pushback. Who is Drake? A recap for the culture. Born in Toronto, Canada, Drake transitioned from a teenage actor to one of the most influential artists in global music. With countless hits, numerous awards, and a cultural footprint that spans fashion, sports, and social media, he has redefined what it means to be a hip-hop artist in the modern era. Drake's ability to evolve, adapt, and remain emotionally transparent has set him apart. He mixes catchy hooks with confessional bars and often takes risks with genre, style, and collaborations. He's not just a rapper, he's a brand, a cultural force, and a man constantly reevaluating his place in the world. Final thoughts, a statement beyond the bars. What Did I Miss? Is more than a single, it's a statement. It's Drake putting his emotions front and center and reminding listeners that beyond the fame, he is still human. The song doesn't ask for sympathy, it demands accountability from those who claim to be friends. In many ways, this track is a return to form, raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal. Drake isn't just taking shots, he's mourning lost relationships, processing public humiliation, and reasserting his identity in a world that often misunderstands him. It's unclear where he'll go next, whether musically or personally, but one thing is certain, Drake is far from done. His pen remains sharp, his instincts strong, and his ability to turn personal pain into cultural moments unmatched. Whether you stood by him or not, he's speaking his truth. And in doing so, Drake proves once again why he remains one of the most compelling voices in music today.